Now, a young man from Norfolk has made a remarkable recovery after taking part in a drugs trial. Jack Royall is now 20. He was diagnosed with the rare condition tuberous sclerosis complex when he was 2. He suffered brain seizures and had tumours in several of his organs, including his brain. He had surgery when he was 7, but 5 years ago, the family found out the tumour was growing back. Now, doctors operated again and saved his life, but his options looked limited. Then, when he was 18, Jack's doctor from the Brighton and Sussex University Hospital told him he'd been accepted onto a clinical trial for a tumour-shrinking drug. 2 years on, and the results have been dramatic. And I'm really pleased to say that we can talk to Jack and Dr. Chris Kingswood on the line. Good morning to both of you.
Hello.
Good morning,
really
Chris.
Nice to talk to you. Jack, I'll start with you. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
How difficult has it been over the last few years? So I've just talked about some of the things you've been through.
Well, I'd say before I started the drug trial, I suffered life-threatening epilepsy, and I would say I weren't in tune with myself, and several times I would have to be resuscitated and go into hospital, and I didn't have any life really.
So this was just something that could happen at any time.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
My parents had to watch me 24/7.
What's changed?
I think my both my independence since taking my the drug, my epilepsy's gone. My autistic pretty much all my autistic tendencies are gone. And I think I'd say what's changed is my independence, because now that my epilepsy's gone, I no longer need to have the support that I needed for the trial.
So this really, this drug that or this trial you've been taking part in has completely changed your life.
Exactly.
Dr. Chris Kingswood is with you. Let's bring Dr. Kingswood in. This sounds extraordinary. What a transformation.
Good morning, Chris. Yes, it's little short of a miracle, really. This is the first specific treatment for this condition. It gets at the mechanism that causes it, and it shrinks the tumours and improves the epilepsy. And it's been a real pleasure and privilege to watch Jack improve over the last 2 years.
How rare was the condition that Jack was suffering from?
It affects about 6,000 people in the UK, and so it's not that rare as a genetic disease. It's not the commonest, but it's probably up there with cystic fibrosis and other things that people will have heard of. But it comes out in very many ways, with epilepsy and kidney tumours and brain tumours. So that it's not that well known about amongst the general public.
What can you tell us about the drug that is involved in this trial?
Well, it's been it's a class of drugs that have been in development for about 20 years. It was found after a lot of scientific research looking at the mechanism. The gene was cloned, what the gene did and what went wrong in the cell was found out, and then this specific drug blocks that pathway. So it's a bit like a magic bullet. It targets the thing that goes wrong in the disease, but doesn't have very many side effects on normal cells.
Jack has clearly had all sorts of problems that he's had to overcome and has fought bravely through them, but how brave a decision was it to take part in this drugs trial? Because I suppose you never quite know what's going to happen. There was no guarantee it would be as successful as this.
No, in fact, the degree of success, it's almost 100% successful, was a surprise. So there's that, and then we had done some small pilot studies to look at safety and side effects, but we weren't really sure in the bigger studies whether that would prove to be as safe as it seemed. But so it was a very big and brave thing. Jack was the first volunteer in the UK and very desperate to join the study, which was nice.
What happens now? Is it a drug that he has to continue taking, or has it now done the job that it was there to do?
For the moment, he needs to continue on it. It is something you can take for life. It's given to people with kidney transplants and other types of transplant for life. So we have experience of that. We know that if Jack stops it, the tumours will start growing back. How fast that would happen, we don't know yet. So we think probably for a few years he's going to need to take it, and then as we find out more, we'll know whether he can stop or whether there's something else we can give him to mean he could swap over.
So does the trial continue, or some of the other 6,000 people in Jack's position, can they now begin trying to get the same benefits that Jack has clearly got?
Yes, absolutely. The trial itself was finished, and on the basis of the results of the trial, the drug that Jack's using, called Vitubia, has got a license to be prescribed in the UK and in the United States and Europe. Now that the task is to persuade the NHS that it's a good use of the money to allow everyone else who needs it to be prescribed it.
Is it expensive?
It is, yes. It's, as I say, it is used already post-transplantation, but it's up there in terms of cost with providing dialysis for somebody.
And of course, these days in the NHS, no matter how much difference drugs make, that the cost has to be taken into account.
In terms of spreading the amount of money that we've got, which is limited, and doing most good for most people, yes.
Jack, final word to you. Lovely to have you on the programme this morning. It's an incredible story you've got to tell. What are your hopes for 2013? What are you looking forward to doing this year?
Well, I'd just like to say I hope to have a good year, and I hope to raise awareness for tuberculosis.
So this is you're going to take this on now and try and get other people to realise what it's like for people who are in your position.
Yes.
Lovely to talk to you. Thank you
lovely to talk to you too,
to Jack
Chris.
Royall and to Dr. Chris Kingswood joining us
Thank you very much,
on the
Chris.
line this morning.